Today I'd like to have a look at sharpening drill bits on a pedestal or bench grinder. This is an aluminum oxide wheel, and it's a fairly coarse wheel, which is what I prefer to sharpen the drill bits on. If we take a drill bit, we had a look in another video about the different parts of the drill bit. These are the two cutting lips of the drill bit, and if I turn it towards you, you can actually see where they meet in the center, which is the chisel edge of the drill bit. Just in behind the cutting edge, if I was to set a rule perpendicular to the center of the drill bit, this angle here is an important angle for us. We want it to be typically 8 to 12 degrees for a general purpose drill bit off of that cutting lip. We also want both of the cutting lips to be exactly the same length typically, although in some situations we will make one a little longer than the other to drill a hole oversize. We also are concerned about the included angle. For a general purpose drill bit, the included angle of the drill should be 118 degrees. And that's where this drill gauge comes in. Half of 118 degrees is 59 degrees, and that's what's happening here with this drill gauge. So what we would do is we would take the drill gauge and we would set it on the side of the drill with my left hand, and then I would just pull it up into this gauge here. And what I'm looking at is, one, can I see light across the top of the drill gauge, and two, what number does the point line up with? And then I would flip it over 180 degrees and do the exact same thing. So set the side of the drill gauge on the margin and bring it up to the tip. Now I'd like you to notice with this drill gauge there's a couple of other things going on. We have this rod here for a protractor, and we also have a rule down on the bottom. But what I'm concerned with for this video is the angle for the drill and also these numbers across the top here so we can measure to the tip of the drill. Now, when we start using the drill, we want to hold it off at half of the included angle. So I'm going to come over to the face here straight on, and then I'm going to move it off half of that 118 degrees, or 59 degrees is what I want to set it to. A trick you can use to set your grinder up is to take a protractor set at 59 degrees and just set it on the tool post. And if you take a marker and you make a line, which we'll erase later, that gives me approximately the angle I want to hold the drill off of center. So again, if we come over here and we take the drill and hold it into center, you can see that I'm going to get it fairly close to that line. So it's just going to give me a guide. Now, a couple of things I need to be paying attention to. One, I want to set the cutting lip onto the face of the grinding wheel, and I want to hold it in the horizontal position. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this rule and I'm setting it on the cutting lip, and I just want to hold it parallel to the floor. This is important that we hold that cutting lip parallel to the floor. The second thing I want to do is I want to hold the shank or the body of the drill parallel to the floor. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tip of the drill and I'm going to push it up on the grinding wheel a little bit, again holding the cutting lip parallel to the floor, and then back down to horizontal. If I go too high, what happens is the heel of the drill gets too large of an angle on it and it makes the cutting lip weak. If I go past horizontal with the shank or the body of the drill, what happens is the cutting lip becomes lower than the heel of the drill and it ends up rubbing, so it won't cut. Again, we're going to grind. I'm just going to push up and back down to horizontal, up a little bit, so 8 to 12 degrees, back down to horizontal. Then we're going to flip the drill around and we're going to do the other cutting edge. After we do that a couple of times, we're going to check it with the drill gauge, again held in the left hand, and I'm checking the angle of it, but I also want to check what number it meets on the point of the drill, and then we'll 180 degrees, and then we'll check the other point. We'll check the number to the other point and also check the angle on that side too. And if everything works out, we should have a drill that is ready to be sharpened. Remember, as we're grinding it, we want to quench it on a fairly regular basis. So what we'll do is we'll get this started to grind. So again, I like to hold it in my hand. I want to hold the body of the drill parallel to the floor. I'm off 59 degrees, and I want to hold that cutting lip parallel to the floor. So we'll just touch it. Up, 8 to 12 degrees, back down. We'll flip it over, 59 degrees off of center. Touch it. Cutting lip is parallel to the floor. Body of the drill is parallel to the floor. Just push it up 8 to 12 degrees. Cutting lip is still parallel to the floor. Straight back down. And we're grinding in behind. I got a little more grinding to do on this. And then again, what we'll do is we will take the drill gauge and we will check it to make sure that we have the right angle. If not, I need to move over a little further in the grinder or a little less depending on where the gap is. And I'm seeing a bit of a gap at the point, so it tells me I need to move the back end of the drill a little further away from the center or the face. And then we'll check the number, and this one here is about 18 on this side of the drill gauge. If we flip the drill bit over, again I want to check the angle, so we'll set the margin up against the side of the drill gauge. And this angle is closer, although I could still bring the back end of the drill a little further away from center. And this one here is about the 17, so it tells me again the cutting lips are approximately the same length. We just need to go over a little further to get that 118 degree angle. If I set this again on the cutting lip perpendicular to the center of the drill, this is at 8 to 12 degrees. Again, I need the heel to be lower than perpendicular. Again, it has to fall away. If the heel is actually higher than the cutting lip, it tells me I brought the back of the drill up past center when we were sharpening this drill bit. This is going to take some practice, so you'll just have to spend some time with it, but that's how I do it. Again, keep the cutting lip parallel to the floor, body of the drill parallel to the floor, and then just push up 8 to 12 degrees, keeping that cutting lip parallel to the floor, back down, up, back down, flip it over, up, back down, up, back down. In a previous video, we had a look at different point angles. So again, for soft material, we get quite a steep point. For hard material, this gets a lot flatter. So that's just the amount of movement I'm moving away from the face of that wheel. If it is a soft material, I'm going to be over a lot further. If it's hard material, I'm going to be closer to being perpendicular to the face of this wheel. That's it. Good luck. It'll take some practice.